Hi there. Let me just get myself set up again as usual. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Didn't realize my hair was such a mess, but I guess that doesn't really matter, does it? Hi, everybody. I am Wendy Keys Turnbull, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today we're going to talk about explosion cards. But first, I want to remind you that there are about 2 weeks left to order from the January-June mini catalog. And then at the beginning of July, there'll be a July-December mini catalog for Christmas items and fall items and things like that. So pretty soon we'll be able to share those. They go live on, I believe it's on January 1st, or July 1st. Sorry about that. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you? Okay, so I knew what I wanted to do, but I totally forgot to prep until my alarm went off at 6 o'clock to tell me that I had an hour until I went live. So that's why I had to put us off for a few minutes. Hello, Sherry. It's very nice to see you here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just get started. I'm going to switch to the desk view and we'll go from there. There we go. So this is Stampin' Up! With Wendy, and the host code for this month is 3VQ7F9T4, and that's good through July 10th. If you want to place an order, please use that host code, and you can search for Wendy Keys Turnbull if you want to order with me. Okay, as I said, mini catalog is good until June 30th. And of course, we have our new annual catalog. So you can see them online if you don't have a copy. If you'd like a copy and you don't have one, please private message me. If you don't have your own demonstrator, private message me your name and address, and I would be happy to send you one. Okay, so this, and I haven't completed this card. I just have it. Let me get myself organized here so I'm completely on there. This is the card that we are making today, and it's an explosion card. And this one obviously is going to be a birthday card. I already have all my Father's Day cards made, so I didn't dare do another Father's Day card, but that is how it explodes. You'll notice that this is thin paper. This is computer paper. You don't want anything too thick in here. You could probably use a designer series paper because they're thinner than cardstock, but you would not want to put cardstock inside of this. It would be way too thick and way too hard to get it to fold. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another one similar to this, just with a little bit different. I just realized that I didn't get a card base. I'll have to do that. A little bit different. Let me give you dimensions here. So this, you'll see, obviously this is square and not rectangular. This is a 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 square. So it is 9.5 by 4 3/4. And then we're going to cut the paper down to 8.5 by 8.5. But we'll do that as we go along. Let me just grab a piece of paper. Oh, let's do Poppy Parade, because I think I got Poppy Parade ink out to work with. So, all right. So I said I needed 9.5 by 4 3/4. I know my trimmer is right. Yep, there it is. I knew it was right here, obvious somewhere. I hate that this is crooked, but I can't seem to get it to stay up where it needs to be straight on. See how long that lasts. Okay, so I want this to be 8.5 by 8.5, and obviously this is 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off of this end. Remember to tell me that you're watching so that you can be included in my raffle. Each week I raffle off some little Stampin' Up! Goodie for somebody who's been watching. So if you're watching live, make sure that you say hi or anything just to tell me that you're here. If you're catching the replay between now and 7 p.m. on Wednesday, June 15th, be sure to say something there, and I will put you in the drawing. Okay, so this has to be 4 3/4 by 9. So 4 3/4, and then of course halfway would be 4 3/4. So we're going to score there so we can close our card. Okay. So again, 9 1/2 by 4 3/4, folded at 4 3/4. Okay. We're using regular standard 8 1/2 by 11 computer paper. And what I'm going to do is I have placed these, you'll see in here that I had them placed in a square. I'm going to place these, I decided to use a rectangle instead. So let's go ahead and stamp those. And I am using Poppy Parade and Gray Granite because I'm going to use black ink to put a message inside of this. So in the center of this. And what I'm doing is I'm going to just kind of pat here and there in different places with the two colors. And I know I probably should be using Stampin' Spots so that I don't ruin my full-size ink pad by getting colors on each other. But we're just going to do it this way for now, do the best I can. Okay. We're going to put this here, rub it, or push on it. There we go. I kind of like that. And I'm not even going to bother to clean off in between. Now I'm going to try and make it kind of go the other direction. Gray where the green or red was and red where the gray was. I don't know if I'll succeed. That's okay. And I'm going to turn it upside down. Which means, you know what? I don't want to have the shovel right next to the shovel. So I'm going to do it this way. Okay. There we go. That's more red than anything. Oh, and I do have red on my gray. All right, I'm going to use just gray for this one. Oh, wow. I'm definitely going to have to clean these ink pads and re-ink them. Okay, let me see. How do I want to do this one? Yeah, we'll do it upside down. It's still all red. All right, I'm going to clean it off in between here. There we go. Let's do this last one in gray, although, like I said, I've got a lot of red on this. So we shall see. Let's go like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some on the other side, and it may be very dull, but that's okay. Probably should have flipped it over. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so let me just clean this off real quick. Hi, Gina. Hi, Shirley. It is a fun card. I found this online. The woman's name, she's not Stampin' Up. Enat Kessler. This is way back from 2015, I think she did this. And actually, she had to do some trimming and stuff afterwards. So I figured out what the proper sizes would be and everything, so that I could give you the right direct dimensions to begin with. Okay, so now this needs to be 8 1/2 by 8 1/2. So we're going to cut it. And I don't trust my brain to calculate that one out. So I'm going to go ahead and go open up the extension on here and do it that way. Okay, there we go. Now comes the folding. Well, first we're going to stamp in the middle of it. And like I said, I've already done my Father's Day card, so I'm going to put Happy Birthday in the middle of this one too. Oh, there's a bug there. Memento. You can use Memento or Stays On. I've taken to, in my directions now, just saying black ink, unless I need something specifically. And I need this kind of in the center. I want it to be centered. I'm kind of trying to line it up. I'm on the metric system side because the other side is dirty, but that looks pretty close. Okay, I'm going to put Happy Birthday right there. Perfect. Okay. Clean that off. Who else? 2 new comments. Who else? Oh, it's just you 2. Come on, there's more people watching. Tell me you're there. Okay, so now comes the folding part. This is the fun part. So you're going to go corner to corner. And I'm going to go ahead and crease everything. And then opposite corner to opposite corner. Okay. Then you're going to open it up and you're going to fold it with the printing on the outside, print on the outside. You're going to fold it in half the regular way, just once, not twice. Okay. Then, now let me see if I can get this right. We are going to fold these corners in. Gotta get it to fold in so it isn't all wrinkled up in the corner there. Okay. Oh, that is not very even, is it? I don't know why. Okay, and then the other corner, the other side, I should say, gets folded in. I probably should have folded, okay, there we go. I have a feeling this is supposed to be on the inside. I just did this. Yeah, it does. It's supposed to be on the inside, so we're going to flip it the other way. Doesn't matter because we've already made our folds, so it's just going to fold just fine. So the only time that the writing is on the outside is when you first fold that rectangle, then you fold it the opposite way because you want all of the folds to go both directions. So, hi Kathy. Hi Aunt Bev. Okay, so now what we're going to do, she said to mark with a pencil the center, but you can tell where the center is because I'm going to just put a little pencil mark there just so I know what to fold to. So it's right. Let me just make sure I get it lined up there. Yep, okay. So one little one there, and then we're going to flip it over. And we're going to put a little one here. Okay, now we're going to fold the outer corners to the inside. Or, yeah, to the center, I should say. All right. Fold that one. Then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Right up to the line we drew, right up to the center. Now, remember I said you need to use lightweight paper, like printer paper, or possibly DSP, although that's kind of thick, but it's thinner than other stuff. Okay, then we're going to flip them around. Flip those points around and tuck them to the inside on all four corners. All right, and then I'm going to give those a nice little creasing again because we want them to be able to fold both ways. All right, and there you have it. Let me get it open up. Oh, no, then, oh, I forgot. One more crucial step. Okay, after you've folded them to the inside, then you want to actually tuck them in. Like, so you folded it this way, and you folded it this way, and now you want to tuck that in. Like so, all the way on the fold. And if you want the directions for this, please make sure you make a note in here telling me, hi, Pamela, that you want the directions. And as soon as I get them typed up, I will send them to you. I never did type up last week's, but I still will. Okay, so now, got to make sure I've got it right. Yep. Now this is your explosion on the inside of your card. So what we need to do is we need to adhere it to the inside of our card base. And you want the point to go right up against the crease, and you want it centered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on one side all the way around. I want it to stay in there well, so I'm going to make sure that it's well covered, but not so much that it's oozing out the sides. And of course I got it on my paper. All right, then I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to center it on both sides. It looks right. There we go. And then I'm going to add glue to this side. I think it's time to get a new Tombow out pretty soon. All right. And whoops, let's get some over along the, closer to the edge here. Okay. And then we simply close the card. And there we have. When you open it up, you have happy birthday. So this would be for a guy. because of all the tools and gardening gloves. Well, it could be for a woman too, I suppose, actually. Shouldn't be so prejudiced by things like that. Women can do anything men can do. Okay, so now we're going to decorate the outside. I'm going to use gray, what color did I use? Gray granite. Let me see what I've got in my scrap bin that will work in there, on there. That doesn't look like gray granite. That looks like, yeah, that's gray granite. If it's not, it's very close. Okay, and so it looks like it's 4 inches. Yes, it's 4 inches. So I'm going to do a 4-inch by 4-inch square for a mat on the front. And I could do another mat, like a white mat underneath that, a little bit bigger. But for now, today, I'm just going to put this on. Tape. Okay. And I probably, before I did that, I should have stamped on it, but I think that's okay. I think I'll stamp. Okay, so this is I'm using Home and Garden cling stamp set. And I put happy birthday inside it, so I don't want to put birthday wishes on the outside. So I'm just going to put, well, I could put to the man who can do anything. That's what I'll do, is I'll put to the man who can do anything. And I am going to go ahead, before I do that, let's use white scrap, just because it'll show up better. We're gonna put a couple of tools here. We're gonna put the gloves, the spade, and the shears. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut them out. Oh, that's right, they're on the other block, aren't they? Which I put way over here. Okay, let me just take these off and put them in here. You see, this is how I store. This should be taped in here, but I obviously the tape has gotten dirty from falling off so much. I'll need to replace it in a bit. But that's how I store my die sets, my bundles, is I put them on this. This is from Lowe's hardware store. It's just vent covers, and they come in, I think it's 7-inch by 15-inch pieces. And I just cut them off. This is a smaller one, but I have bigger ones that I use as well, full size, that fit in here perfectly. If you just cut, it might be 8 by 15, and I cut an inch off of the end so that it will fit right in there. And then I cut them so they're 5 by 7, because this is basically 7 by 5. So, and these I just haven't put in my book yet, where I keep track of all of my dies. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's stamp these. So I'm going to do, no, I should do it the other way around. I'm going to do this for the pieces here. And I'm going to do Poppy Parade for the gloves and for the handles of the tools. Oops, I didn't quite get that all on there yet. Okay, just huff on it. And we'll stamp them on here. I probably should have made sure they all fit before I did that. Whoops. Okay. Maybe I've got a bigger piece in here somewhere. Lots of scraps. I don't think that's any bigger. It's a little wider. That works. Here we go. Okay. Oh, shoot. All right. We're going to make them very light because I don't feel like inking it up again. No, that's not too bad. Okay. Get rid of that. Oh, that one I can keep. All right. Ugh, got red all over my hand, and I'm putting more on it. Okay. Put this over here out of my way. Put that over there too. Okay, so I'm just going to cut these out. Oh, nope, I can't put that over there. I need the... So I told those of you who came to my class this weekend about this, but I will share with the rest of you in case you haven't noticed or haven't heard. The magnetic cutting plate for our die cutting and embossing machine has been removed from the catalog because it's not of the quality that Stampin' Up! Likes their things to be. I noticed that mine is separating, the layers are separating. I did glue them together. They said not to, but I did, and it seems to be holding just fine. I figure I'll just use it till it's gone. If you have one, they're refunding you your money. So, and if you ordered one and you haven't received it yet, you will receive it and a refund. So, okay, let me just grab my mini. Since it's just little things I have to cut. And they also stopped exploration on the mini magnetic because of all this. So I shouldn't have put them on down there. All right, that one. And that one. And that one. Here we go. Aunt Bev, I'm sorry I didn't call you after my appointment this morning. I will call you when I'm all done here. Fill you in. Okay. All right, well, the gloves didn't come out perfect, but everything else looks fine, so. And it's close enough for sampling like this. All right. Get that out of the way. Just put it on the floor where I can run into it. Okay. And what we're going to do is we are going to pop these on here, and we are going to put the I could have sworn I got the saying out, but nope, I didn't. Alrighty. So let's see. To the man who can do anything. And I am going to do this. Wait a second. I'm going to do this in red on a gray piece here. We're just going to make it a little banner, little strip. Oops, well, I'll cut that off. I got the little halo, you see. I pushed a little too hard. It's juicier than I thought. One thing, Shirley, is to make sure that you move things around on it when you're cutting. Don't cut all in the same place. Make sure you're cutting on the edges and everywhere else so that it's getting uniform wear. I'll get mine in a second and show you what's happening with it. All right. I am going to leave a little bit on the edge here because I'm going to put a little bling on it, I think. And because I'm putting gray on gray, whoops, I'm going to go ahead and put a little edging on this with the Poppy Parade. Oop, just laid it down on it. Yep, I made a mess. Okay, we're going to stamp it again on the other side since I still have it sitting out here anyhow. I think I just put my yucky thumb on the other end, but oh guys, this is interesting tonight. See if I got it on there. I did. Okay. This needs more. I think probably what I would do, I'm not going to take the time to do it now, but I think I would probably stamp the tools, maybe the rake up, down, up, down, up, down on here to have a little bit of something more on there. You know what? I will do that. And I'm going to do it in the gray. If I can find what I did with it's right there. Gray granite. Yeah, let's just do the rake. Huh. Look how red my gray is. That's so sad. I am really going to have to clean that ink pad off and re-ink it. That'll be what I'll do when I'm done here tonight. Okay, I like that better. If I had done it before I adhered it, I would go off the edges too. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of red on that gray. Okay, from now on, note to self, use Stampin' Spots because I can re-ink them easier, clean them and re-ink them easier. Oh well. Alrighty. So I'm just going to pop all of these minis, I think. Where's my minis? Okay. Upside down. Not going to help much if it's not sticky side down. Okay. Alrighty. We're going to put that here in the middle. Sorry that's so messy. It'll do for now. Probably I will replace it before if I were to send it out to anybody, which I will be sending it out to somebody. All right, and I need little thin strips for the handles. Because I don't want the dimensionals to show on the outside of the card. Okay. Off, and oh, that one doesn't want to come off. There it goes. Okay, we'll put these like so. This might actually fit. Yes, it will. That's probably good enough. So we'll put this one here, and the gloves. Actually, I can use a regular dimensional on that. A couple of them. One here. And this. What do I want to do? You know what? I want to put it here, like so. Never mind the bling. You just put that on there. I am just going to stick a tiny little dot of glue under there to keep it down. There we go. All right. So other than the mess that I made there, and the fact that that came out red instead of gray. Or no, I was doing red, that's right. Anyhow, there we go. So to the man who can do anything, happy birthday. Sorry, I have it up too high. There you go. Happy birthday. Okay, now our second sample. Let me just show you the first one again, the first card I did so you can see. And the first card I did with Crumb Cake and Smoky Slate. And then that card I did with Poppy Parade and Gray Granite. You don't want it to be too dark inside because you want to be able to read the words. So this one I did do that with the two colors. You'll see that some of it's gray and some of it's brown. Tan. So that's that one, and I will decorate the outside of that probably similarly to what I just did later. I don't need to do that now. Now today is my grandson, Simon, my grandson's 6th birthday. So I thought in honor of him, I've already given him his birthday present. I took him to Build-A-Bear at the mall, and he built a dinosaur, and he named it Beta after the latest Jurassic Park, I think. But then he wanted a Star Wars Mandalorian backpack for it. So he got the Mandalorian backpack for his dinosaur. And those are two of his favorite things, is Jurassic World dinosaurs and Star Wars. They are a Star Wars family, most definitely. Okay, so in his honor, I decided to make a kid's birthday card. And he's very mature for his age. They're homeschooled, both of them, him and his brother, who is 8. And so they have grown up a little bit faster than kids in public schools do, I guess. So for this one, I'm using Polished Pink Fresh Freesia. Those are from the 21-23 in colors, and then Tahitian Tide and Parakeet Party from the 22-24 in colors. And I'm using the A Grandkid stamp set, which I used the Happy Birthday from that for the other card. And I'm going to use the spiral die. And now I haven't tried this yet, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to play around with it a little bit. So I have put this on the block, full size. I have another piece of 8.5 by 11 computer paper. I've already cut out the background for my, and somewhere here I have the paper to stamp that on it. Okay, good. Okay, so on the outside it's going to say sending birthday wishes, and on the inside it's going to say you are so loved. So, which is the motto from our church, actually. My grandson Simon loves pink. It's his favorite color. So we're going to include that. And I was going to use pastel colors, but I feel like I tend to use pastel colors a lot, and they're really not my favorite. I'm really into bold colors. So I thought I would go with my own thoughts here. And oh, so this is going to be interesting. All right, so I want to get it about like that. Okay, that worked well. This time I am going to clean it off because I'm going to do a different color on the same stamp. So on the same, right over the top of that one. I think I will do, yeah, I think I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do the Tahitian Tide with the polished pink and the Parakeet Party with the fresh Freesia. And then on the bottom part, I'll do something different. So, whoops, oh, bummer. Ah, all right. Starting over. Sorry about that, guys. Hi, Robin. That's all right. You can send an angry face if you want. Hi, Polly. So am I missing anybody else? No, I think that's everybody that's on so far. Okay, so let me just do this up quickly again. And I'm going to need to use a different piece of paper because that's showing through. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. I am going to lay it on the paper and rub on it. I tend to do that, but that seems to work out better with the background stamps. And that's a little bit much, but that's okay. Doesn't have to. So Robin, did you not I've been doing Facebook Live every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock since, I think, February, maybe the beginning of the year, but except when I'm out of town. So you can always find me here Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. It was a little bit later tonight. Okay, so now I'm going to have to put this one face down because I've got to try and do something different with it. This is easier with the... You know what? I'm just going to move down a little bit and see what happens. Oh, that's really crooked. Oh, well. It's all right. I don't love it. With a Stamparatus, you can make this a little bit better, but that's okay. I'm going to keep going. So next I'm going to do one over here with the Fresh Freesia and the Parakeet Parade. Parakeet Party. Sorry, said that wrong. And maybe I'll let it go ahead and overlap. I just don't want it to be too busy in here where I'm trying to put the sentiment. I'm going to try to not overlap it and see what happens. I'm going to put it here like so. I went up too high, but that's okay because I kind of want to, I shouldn't have had a gap there. Like I said, I'm experimenting. All right. And we'll do the Parakeet Party. I'm going to go ahead and do this like this. Oh, I kind of like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and overlap this. Maybe I'll overlap this with green since I have green on it right now. And instead of cutting off the bottom, I'm going to cut off of each end so that We have a little bit of, it'll be more centered here. All right, and then on the other side, blue, I think. So green and blue will be the main colors. All right, and then I'm gonna go over the blue with the purple and the green. I gotta think about this. With the purple. Nah, that would be, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it the way I have it here so that they'll be across from each other. Okay. No, I'll put pink on this one and purple on that one. That's okay if they're... Pull it down a little bit. Maybe I'll go all the way down to the end of it. Yep. Okay. That's kind of what I was looking to do. Have the color overlap the openings, the spaces. And last but not least, doesn't look like any's getting on there, but I know it is. This will probably be the last quiet week while I'm doing my lives because my husband's on his way home now, so he should be home in a couple of days. So next week he will probably be here when I'm doing my live. I have to close my doors again so I don't bother him and he doesn't bother me. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to cut, as I said, I want this to be 8.5. So 8.5 by 8.5. So it's 11. So I need to take 2.5 inches off. So 1 1/4 off of each edge. 1 1/4 here. And 1 1/4 up here. And it is square. Too bad I left a white spot there, but it probably won't be so noticeable once I've got my folding done. And all right, before I fold, I need to do the center. So I should have gone a little lower, I think. Oh, well, that's okay. All right, so the center is going to say, "You are so loved," because all of my grandchildren are extremely loved. So actually, right about here, I think. It's crooked, of course. I'm crooked, so I guess it makes sense that my stamping would be crooked. Okay, here we go. Corner to corner. And then corner to corner the other way. The other corners. Okay, well, that glue is there. All right, I have to turn this over so this doesn't get all gluey. Sorry that this is a little messy, but all right. Then we open it up and we go make a rectangle instead of a triangle. All right, and then I'm going to turn that back in because we want it to be able to fold in every direction, remember. And I just, oh, of course there's tape here. Hang on. Let's get a different one. I have lots of partially used things here. Okay, that's better. All right, so now comes the part where we push that opposite piece in. And I want to get all the way to the corner here. All right, there we go. And I forgot to, where did it go? There it is. I forgot to do the creasing before, but we'll do it now. It'll be fine. Okay, other corner, other edge has to go in. We fold it, same thing. Okay, and then remember we're going to mark the center so that we know where to fold to. And I'm not going by that line, I'm going by the crease in here. Okay, so then we're going to fold it in to meet that line from each side. Oops, not both of them. Well, you could, but okay. And then this corner, this edge goes over here. And then we're going to flip it over and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And this one. All right, and then we want to do the same thing. We want to flip them to the inside and burnish again. Burnish, the word finally came to me. Boy, I am losing my words. Okay, and we're going to burnish each side. So you kind of have an inverted house here. Let's make sure that it opens up properly. Oh, yep, remember the other step that I forgot last time too? We're now going to flip these to the inside. All of the little tags we just made, little corners we just made, we're going to flip them to the inside, all 4 of them. Burnish again to make sure that everything is nice and crisp and folds when you want it to, how you want it to. Now we open it. And there we go. Oh, he's going to love this, except I'm not going to give it to him because I already gave him, I didn't give him a card though, so maybe I will. Maybe I'll send him a belated birthday card. Okay, so I chose, because I had used all bright colors, but I hadn't used any yellow. I chose, I believe this is Daffodil Delight. And this one needs to be, do you remember? 9.5 by 4 3/4. So 9.5 from 11 means I want to cut 9.5, 10.5, 1.5 inches off. I thought that's what I cut off of that one, but nope, it must have been 2.5. Okay, so this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. Yes, okay. And now I want it 4 3/4. And then I want it to be scored at 4 3/4. All right. And then there we go. Okay. And we close this back up. And we put glue on the outside. Must be something clogging this because it goes and then all of a sudden it stops. There we go. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to center it in here. It looks, the benefit of using glue is that you can move it around till it's where you want it. And I see I've got extra glue there. I'm going to have to powder that. Otherwise it will stick, the card will stick closed. All right, I'll do the same thing here on this side. All right, again, close her up. And when you open her, and it's already stuck. You are so loved. I love that. He is going to love that. Hi, Barb. Good to see you here. Shiny's going to pick up yours and Lisa's and hers and Candace's stuff tomorrow. So she'll have all your stuff. Okay. So I'm going to leave this part way open for a few minutes. And then I'm going to powder it with a embossing buddy. All right, so now I chose to do a Tahitian tide with a plain white. And then for the sending, I have, oops, I have an extra thing of those. Oh, don't lose that. Okay, I have my blending brushes, which I've used before, and I tell you every time, I absolutely love these blending brushes. And I have one for my reds and pinks, one for my blues, purples, and greens. So on this, I'm just going to kind of blend in some colors. This is going to be what the word sending is going to be cut out of. It's not a lot of ink in that one. I'm going to have to re-ink that later. The rest of them are going to come on really strong, and you're barely going to see the fresh freesia. Pinks. Yeah, maybe not. I may have to add a few different times to get the look that I want. Probably go back to the fresh freesia again. These two are going to be juicy, so these are going to be the biggest colors because they're the newest ones. Yeah. Still pretty light. And green, Parakeet Party. And it's nice because it blends with the pink and makes an orange. And the blue is made a little bit of a darker shade of purple with the fresh freesia. I'm going to try to put some more fresh freesia in there. See if I can get a lot on the brush here. A little. Okay, that's probably good. Okay, I like that. So now I'm going to take my sending die, or sending stamp, and using black ink. I know my memento is right in front of me, but what I'm seeing is the StazOn, so we'll use the StazOn. I think my StazOn is going to have to be pushed on a lot. Yep, there we go. That one definitely needs to be re-inked. All right. Oh, I have a feeling I used the small one. I had two pieces out here. That should work. All right. Ugh. Well, it's just going to have to do. I will color it in with a marker. Obviously, I need to re-ink that thing. Where did my sending die go? I had it out here. I wonder if it went under my head here. Oop. There it is. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's why, because this, oh wait, yes it does. Yes it does. Okay. I am going to, I don't have any tape nearby. Okay, I'm just going to have to do the best I can with it. We'll see what happens. Maybe I shouldn't have even stamped it. Maybe I should have just cut it out. Who knows? All right, so let me lie it down. Let me see if I can cover the whole thing. And when you're doing this, make sure, interesting. Make sure that you save the dot for your eye. Don't let it get lost. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and go back, but I wanna push down to make sure it doesn't move. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, let me just get this out of here. All right, yeah, I shouldn't have bothered with the black ink. I should have just cut it out of this. Live and learn. Now it just looks like dirt. It looks kind of dirty. So now I'm just going to glue this onto this. And in order to glue this little tiny thing on, oops, and I did forget the period, but it is still in there, the dot. Okay. All right, so I am going to use, this is Tombow glue that I put in this little cheap thing that I bought. I got to get that off or it'll be in the way. Okay. I like these because they have a nice little skinny, there we go. So I just will put dots all the way around. Isn't this exciting? Watching me put glue on paper? Almost done. I think I'll be able to throw this grid paper away when I'm all done. I think it'll have had its last use. Okay. Typically I would use my tweezers, which are actually right here near me, but I'd have to roll my little tool thing around to find them, and I'm too lazy. Okay. There we go. This is Tahitian Tide under here, if I didn't tell you that. Oops, I see I got a little piece in there that needs to come out. There we go. Okay. This is just going to go here with birthday wishes. I'm going to stamp birthday wishes. I'm going to find my better black. There it is. I'm going to stamp birthday wishes on that nice paper. And then I'm going to use, this might be too long. We'll see. Nope, it's going to work. Good. Okay. I have glue all over my fingertips. And that is stuck to the paper. Sorry, kitty. My kitty was just about to jump up on the table and I dropped these on the floor and it scared him. So, obviously, he didn't jump up on the table, which is a good thing. So I have stuff all over the place up here. Not really any room for him right now. Okay. I'm actually probably going to add belated birthday wishes onto this before and then go ahead and send it to my grandson, because I didn't even think to bring him a card today. How rude of me. Hi, Cheryl Saxby. How are you? Okay. And I don't want to put flowers on it. Ugh, my hand's a mess. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I cannot get the glue off of my hands. Don't mind me, I'm singing along to my radio. Good enough. Okay, centering that on here. Sending. Yeah, we'll do it across. And I think, let's see, what ribbon have I got? I have fresh freesia ribbon. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me just cut a piece of ribbon. Ouch. I'm just going to put this around both of these. Don't know how. Okay. And I really don't even have to trim it because it's going to be on the card front anyhow. All right, and then I am going to pop this off here just above the ribbon and put this, just pop this just on the ribbon. So let me get this on the card front first. I am going to trim those just to keep the card base flat, or the card front flat. All right. There we go. Definitely got to get rid of that extra glue before it ruins my card. All right. And here they are. Anywhere that they will fit and not show, I will put the big ones. If I'm worried that they'll show, I'll put some minis. Whoops, that's not minis. They're out here somewhere. Ah, right up here. Okay. That one there. Oops, I got two. Put one up there. We'll put one right here in the middle, and we'll put one more on the top of the D. Okay. Might take your pick. Point is getting a little too full to pull things up. There we go. Okay. Sending. This will definitely be minis. Probably the full size would fit, but I'm not taking a chance on having to get them perfect this way. Here we go. And let's go. Do I want it that way? I want it this way. Okay. There's something in there. There's a little piece of glue in there. Dirty glue. Okay, so if I'd had, it needs something here and here too, so I'll add some bling. If I'd had, if I'd thought about it, I would not have stamped that. I would have just cut it out. It would have been much brighter. But, and I could have even made this tie-dyed too. That would actually have been pretty cool. So, but I'm going to put some bling on there. Let's see what I've got right here. I got stuff all over the place. Let's see here. Well, flower power, I could use these. Fun flowers. But since it's for Simon, I think I'd rather just have it be circular or octagonal or something like that as opposed to flowery. Let's see here. Not those. These. All right. And these are the 22-24 in color Maddie decorative dots. I'm just going to use the green and the Tahitian Tide, which are obviously the Tahitian Tide is one of my favorites. You can tell from looking here at how many have been used. One down here. And then I think actually, let me put a little one of those in there. You know, oh, I forgot to put the dot on my eye, didn't I? I am going to dot it with this instead. Whoops. There we go. That does not belong in there. Let's get that out of there. Oh, actually, yeah, it probably does. Okay, I'm going to just get the other in-color dots here. They're a little bit different, but needs a little more. Here we go. There's the 21-23 in-color dots. So that would be the fresh freesia and the polished pink. Had to look it up. All right, so a polished pink we'll put here. and a fresh freesia, which really are almost clear. Maybe we'll use a little one of those. They're all a little bit different. I'll put it right there. Nah, it needs something else down here. There we go. You could probably use a few more or something else, but I'm going to write belated on there or stamp belated on there too. And I may be putting something else on there, but so these are the results. Here is the card that I made for Simon. That will be a belated birthday card. You are so loved. Sending birthday wishes, you are so loved. And I could actually add, where did that stamp set go? Here it is. I might stamp to an amazing grandson up here or down here, best grandkid ever. Although I don't want Ezra to be offended. So I might put something else like this on here just to add something else to it. But I'm pretty pleased. I think that's pretty cute. And then this one, which I'll finish later. And this one. Happy birthday. Whoops. Be careful when you fold them back up. Make sure that that crease is nice and sharp right there. That's the one that I've noticed gets caught up. There you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Okay, Kathy, as soon as I write them, I will send the instructions to you. I'm going to switch over now to my face. There I am. Okay, ouch. I slammed my finger in the door today and I have a cut on the side of it right there. And it's a little sensitive. It's also a little swollen and a little black and blue under the red. Doesn't matter. It'll be fine. Anyhow, that's what I have for this week. Next week, I'll be back with something completely different. And I might actually make it up ahead of time so that I know what I'm doing when I get on. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you watch this on the rerun, whatever you want to call it, not live, between now and 7 o'clock tomorrow night, make sure, that's Wednesday night, make sure that you say hi so that I include you in the drawing. And there goes my phone, which will be spam because it always is. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and I will see you all soon. Bye.